I'm Dale from Dale's Rock Interviews and Dale's Gig Reviews and Metalliville Online Magazine. And you are Brit from Limberlost,
Yes, I am Brittany from Limberlost. Yes.
the fantastic vocalist.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, it's what I have pursued my whole life.
Yes, I believe you were trained, you did a degree in opera, is that correct?
Yes. Yes. It feels like a forever ago, but yes, I got my degree at Northern Arizona University and I studied opera at that time. So it was a degree in voice and opera. And after that, I actually went to Italy and sang opera. And that was that was where I made the decision. Oh, opera's kind of like all in, and I really enjoyed doing other things like my songs that I write, and most of my songs are like modern kind of songs. So I moved to Seattle after living in Italy for a minute and joined a rock band, and here we are today.
Excellent. I think Mike is just about to join us. He's not in the
Cool.
hot tub.
No, could have
Let's
been.
wait. Let's wait for him to join us.
Cool. Very cool.
So, Mike, his name's up. I'm still waiting for him. Yeah, I had an interview on February the 14th, and I was joined by five members, and one of them was actually in bed with his girlfriend, and the other was going for a romantic meal with his girlfriend. It was rather bizarre.
Oh, wow. Well, that's cute, but also like you guys want to be alone?
Exactly. Apparently, they was very hungover because they got in at 6 a.m. in the morning, and so they were laid there just feeling very, very tired and very hung. So, hello,
Wow,
Mike.
that's
Nice of you
cute.
to join us.
Hey, what's happening? Yeah, I
You're
had
the
to.
you're the drummer, I believe.
Yes, I do beat things.
I've got to say, you look every inch the drummer. You're the stereotypical what we'd expect a drummer to look like.
Excellent. So, kind of a serial killer looking dude with,
Yeah,
yeah.
shirtless, sleeve, yeah, and yeah, the hat and the long hair. That's it. Yeah. So
Right on.
Brit seems to be a bit frozen. Are you still there, Brittany? I seem to have lost Brittany. We're having
Well,
fun here.
she can't be frozen. She's in the hot tub.
I know some people have all the fun. So, how long have you been with the band then, Mike? Have you been from the start?
Well, I am actually the originator.
Oh, you're a
So,
founding member.
I started the band in late, probably early 2011, I'd say, when we really kind of got moving and started trying to piece things together. And then just a lot of evolution, writing material, trying to figure out whether we were going to actually be a band or not. And I think it was like 2016 when we actually started recording and released our first singles, and then things kind of took off from then. That's kind of when we became a band and started performing and so forth. And I want to say and we went through the core, the first four members actually kind of stuck for quite a while, but then once we started recording, we lost, and started getting some notoriety, and there was like some expectation of going out and playing and stuff. We lost our bass player, and then we replaced him, and then we kind of went through an ad hoc period of adding some players, like playing around with keyboard players and stuff like that. We had several different. In fact, Tony, who's our keyboard player currently, was actually the very first guy that ever played keyboards with us back in like 2016.
Yeah.
Um, and
Because
but then he went on to do his own thing. But yeah, and then 2018 we went through a big membership change and got Brittany and Tony, and they've been with us. The three of us have been together since then, and then dropped a bunch of members last year, a little over a year ago, and after our tour with Ingve, we kind of figured we needed to move a different direction. So we left a bunch of the rest of them to their devices and brought in the current lineup that you see today. So
yeah. So who's in the current lineup? Is it Sammy Gorham and
yeah,
Devon
we have. Yeah, she goes by
and
Sammy Rage now, but yeah, Sammy, Brittany, and then there's Anthony or Tony however you want to call him. He's our keyboard player. And then we added a good friend of mine who was just kind of a quirk. I never expected him to say, "Yeah, I want in," which was Steve Unger.
Yeah.
He's been playing bass for Metal Church for the last 23 years. And his son, Devin, is on guitar. Devin was actually whom I was after originally when I called Steve.
Yeah.
And then, of course, myself. So there's six of us, and then we
Wow.
just we have quite a crew around us too. So we've got our own dedicated front of house guy who's kind of world renowned. He's ran sound everywhere from Whacking to the Whiskey, and toured with major artists like gosh, I think he was supposed to go run the Ghost tour here recently, but he caught COVID right before it, so he wasn't able to
Oh
take
dear.
that. So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
not
so
good.
been out with a lot. So yeah, we've got a good solid. Our managers, Paul Crosby from Saliva, you know.
Yeah.
So we
Because
we
I
got the
listened to your first album, Limberlost Volume 1, and
yes,
it's massively, massively different to what you're doing now. I mean,
yeah.
it was more like a sort of like a jazz sort of lounge music. It was very relaxed and laid back, and compared to what it is now, it's a totally different sound. You've gone in a massively different direction.
hmm Yeah. Well, when we originally started the band, just full disclosure, the original band that became Limberlost was actually a product of something I had been through down in Los Angeles just prior to that, before my job transferred me back to Washington, and that was I was part of a worship team down there, and it was some really good, solid players. I mean, like pro player type deal, not your typical worship team where you kind of get the weekend warriors and the wife won't let me ride my Harley, so I'm going to play music in the praise band, kind of thing. um, but the and I got to see through these people, I got to meet people like POD, and I got to meet Switchfoot, which are both crossover bands. They're Christian artists that
Yeah,
crossed over into the mainstream metal and stuff. And it kind of sparked me. It's like, wow, you can actually go out and play inspiring, positive music and still be metal, and stuff. So that was kind of what started me down the path of creating a band, which was originally started as a worship praise band, if you will. And you can kind of hear that in some of our songs. There was always a bit of blues and rock there. I'm an old '80s guy, kind of cut my teeth on the Sunset Strip back in 1980. I'm a big Zeppelin fan. I'm a big, I mean, Tony is kind of from that same era. So we've had some, but we had a lot of more of I would say a bluesy influence. Our
yeah.
original guitar player was kind of more of a, Rival Sons, Blackberry Smoke, that kind of guy. So there's a little bit more of that Americana, classic rock feel. Of course, we always get compared to Heart because we're from Seattle. You know,
Yeah. Well, I've
with
got
two
Heart behind me because I'm a massive Heart fan.
right on.
Bad Animals is one
Yeah.
of my all-time favorite albums. It's absolutely. I love female vocalists. I grew up listening to female vocalists and opera singers like Maria Callas and singers like that. So I grew up with opera. I grew up with rock and Elkie Brooks and other female singers. So my natural progression led me to Heart and. My
Yeah.
partner's a huge Pat Benatar fan as well. And you
Yeah.
can't beat Lita Ford. We've got there. And over on the wall opposite me, I've got Vixen. And I love modern
All my faves,
female
man.
singers, I'm a massive fan. I actually said what the singer found very insulting with the question, but it's a question which I've leveled to male fronted bands because
Mhm.
it's down to the genre, not the singer, it's down to the genre. Like the one I asked a question about a band that wore masks. What makes you stand out as a band? Because there's a lot of people who wear masks now. It all become cool, and so the people are now coming up with wearing masks. So I asked this to a female-fronted band, and oh, that's a sexist question. You wouldn't ask that to a male. It's a question down to genre, and I know the answer to this, and I'll let you answer it first, and then I'll tell you my version of the answer. What makes you stand out as a band in an overcrowded market?
You back, Brittany?
Well, I think there's several things. One, I think that you rarely see a dual lead band. And it doesn't matter if it's male or if it's female. You rarely see two singers on a stage sharing that stage. The other thing that makes us different is, well, or rather, not different, just what we can say we stand out for is, I would say, our lyrics.
Yeah.
We write, I think a lot of lyrics are out there to either shock you or to play the game. And the lyrics well, not just that I write, but we write as a band, the lyrics that we write a band, we take pride in because we're trying to send a message of hope or of healing or of transformation or of reminding you, when people turn on the radio, it's usually because they're in a time of their life they need to have that distraction or they need to hear that. And where's the music that you can connect to anymore?
Yes.
It's not being written. So that's one of the things we try to do is we try to write that music and put it out there. It's sort of our mission to the world to get out. So did I cover it all, or is there something else there, Mike?
You did actually say what I was going to say, which is uplifting
Oh,
lyrics that connect with the listener. Now, we've got a band in the UK called Fireheart, and they're writing songs to do with how they are feeling. And they're doing it all based around their mental health and things like that. And the songs that they're releasing are very uplifting and they're connecting very much with the audience. And that's what I felt when I was listening to you.
Nice.
The new
awesome.
stuff, the album, which oh God, I wrote it down. Your last album, with the fantastic cover, Beautiful Scars. There's a lot of songs in that. I mean, the whole title of the album, Beautiful Scars, you're covering the scars that we've got inside us, and it felt like a lot of the songs relating to your inner soul and bringing you up. Am I correct in that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100. You got it. It was a concept album that we thought of while we were on our way back from the Yngwie Malmsteen tour in Europe. And it's the idea of taking on the Japanese art form of kintsugi, or kintsugi, I'm not sure I'm saying it right, but
Yeah.
where the pot is shattered or something is shattered, that they can repair it with gold. And that idea is
Yes.
that it's actually more beautiful because it was broken. And a lot of people tend to hide their scars or tend to put meaning or negative meaning on the things that have happened. And that's kind of what we took it as. What if we took our life and we looked at our scars as beautiful and we looked at it as gold? You are more beautiful because of all the things that you have been through. And that is 100% what that album walks through in every single song. It starts with that self-doubt coming into owning yourself, and then in the end, loving who you are.
Yeah, because that's what I got from it, and that's why I asked you the question, what makes you stand out to a lot of the female-fronted bands? Because there are bands which have got the opera singer at the front of the metal bands, like Nightwish, and I mean Tarja, she's absolutely fabulous. Anyway, and Epica. So you have got bands of the similar genre, but you don't really go into that opera sort of singing. You sing in a lovely, clear. I wouldn't say a rock voice, but very much like a heart, you do come up with that very nice, clear tone. And you don't go into the opera realms, but you stay in a nice, I'm trying to find the right word. Um, I'd say listening friendly singing, if you
Yeah,
get what I mean. Was that a conscious thing, not
yeah.
going into that genre?
Well, I end up using it a lot, actually, not necessarily the style, because the singing has a style attached to it. That's one of the things that you learn getting that degree. But so it is a different style, right? We take on the rock style of singing, but the essence of the music degree that I have, so all of the theory that I know, and you can hear that coming through in the songs. You'll hear a lot of classical influence inside of the songs, as well as a lot of heart, a lot of pop influence in just how the songs are even constructed. Um, but this newest release that we just did, Give It to Me, absolutely combines the opera and the metal. At the very end, I had a lot of fun, went a little crazy with it. So Sammy and I got to do some fun stuff at the end of that. You definitely will have to listen to our new one on the radio, Give It to Me. You'll
Yeah,
hear the
so
opera.
I have been listening to that. I was going to bring that up as well because, again, I'm seeing a little bit of a change compared to your last album with just a single. So I wouldn't say it's more of an evolution. You know, your albums, your three albums that you've done, you've got your volume one, and you've got your Good Fight in 2021, Beautiful Scars, which
Yeah.
is last year, and this new single. There's definitely an evolution and a journey, and it's massively different from the first single, and so on. So, are you, you are you trying to stay to the similar sort of sound, but you are evolving?
Well, you know, a couple things that are important to inject there is like when you listen to Volume One and even Good Fight, um, you, you look back at those bands and those people. That was very much a collective songwriting type of band. Um, it was a very slow and arduous process because of that, because you had so many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah,
So there, like on, I believe it's the Good Fight album, with the exception of the two covers that are on there. I think there's four different songwriters represented there. Okay,
wow,
uh, in terms of the different people that pen the lead of the song, so to speak, or
yeah,
pen the lyric. When you look back at the first album, it was, there was probably about, I think there was two or three of us that were writing lyrics, and it was just a collective of how we came in the room and built the songs. This particular album, Beautiful Scars, and the album that we're releasing now, mostly, this is something that, we have a great team of people. And the reason we can do what we do is because our freaking musicians. I think somebody told me this or told us in an interview the other day that we're not a genre. We're a musicians band. They
yeah,
said it's like you hear the musicianship in this, and so we have tremendous musicians. I mean, Devin is a beast on guitar. Of course, Steve, he's Metal Hall of Fame. So I mean, where do you go there? The two girls who are I mean, classically trained, but just insanely great vocalists. Tony, we call him the Wizard. We call him lots of things, but we call him the Wizard because he's just, I mean, the thing that guy does with keyboards is amazing. It allows us to have the sound we have, and then I fit in there somewhere. But the point is that this particular album was pretty much written and produced by Brittany and myself.
yeah,
Okay, so we cut the process down to where we like something, we go get it, and we hear it, we go do it. And as far as lyrics go, I also want to inject into that we understand something very important about music that I don't know that everybody understands. I know a lot of people do, but I think it's an important thing to kind of drive home is that the music doesn't belong to you. The song doesn't belong to you once you've released it. It belongs to the listener.
yeah,
And the so we pay a huge amount of attention to try and make it so we're not injecting the meaning to the extent that you are driven down a path. In other words, we want you to assign your meaning to it.
yes,
So
yeah,
there's a lot of metaphor in what we do. Now we will set the tone and set the stage and the mood and the vibe and all that, of course. But I want you to listen to something like we have a song coming up. Oh, well, we have a couple songs coming up that are very timely in the way the world operates.
Mm.
One of them was written 11 years ago, actually, and it's being redone, but it's still relevant to exactly what the world looks like today. And then another one that Brittany wrote that we actually took out on tour last year that's on this new album. And the funny thing about it is I don't care what perspective you come from in the world right now. Whether that's political or whether it's just where you are in your stage of life or whatever. I think every individual can assign their own meaning, and it's hardly ever going to be exactly the same. And
yeah,
I think to me that feels like we did a good job because now we've made a user's or a listener's song. Does that make
yeah.
sense?
Yeah, that makes total sense because I think they're the best sort of songs, the best sort of music is what you can listen to and take and make your own, and you can sort of assign it to a particular feeling or a particular part of your life, and when you revisit it, it evokes that feeling and that part of your life.
Sure. And that's where I'm going with the sound. The sound is now kind of two people that have gotten this idea of how we want to move the brand forward. And it doesn't mean that we're not involving the rest of the band. It's just that what it means is we've kind of taken this train and put it on a track, and now we don't have to stop at every crossing and reevaluate. We don't have to, it's a tremendous amount of trouble and time has been lifted off our shoulders, and we can just produce art and move forward with that. So it's
Yeah.
been a lot of fun.
So, your latest release, Give It to Me. Um, does that mean there's a new album on the horizon?
You want that one,
Yes,
Britt?
indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah,
Yep.
it's a continuation of sort of the Beautiful Scars story. Once you have accepted yourself, the next is sort of to accept and own who you are and everyone else's story. And so that's where the working title right now is called Villain. And we've pretty much finished the songs, but we're going to do it a little different this time. We're not going to drop them all in one. We're going to just do one at a time until
Right,
we drop
okay.
the album. So we're going to give little cookies at every month, every 6 weeks or so. You'll get a new song from us sometimes with a video, sometimes with all kinds of stuff. So we'll be dropping new content. And that's what Give It To Me was the start of. It was the first of all the songs. We have Villain and Sugar and Babylon. We got all kinds of good stuff coming out.
Oh,
Got a
excellent.
real
Can't
got a
wait.
real cool cover of we got a real cool cover of a UK band on there too.
Oh,
That's right. We did a Beatles cover, and
right,
we took it to a place it usually doesn't go. We did In My Life,
right, okay.
and
But more with our sound.
it's most people that cover it keep it real slow. Even who was it? Was it Slash?
Ozzy and Slash, they went pretty soft with
Yeah,
it too.
kept it real soft, and it's a lovely song. Every cover is wonderful. Ours is different.
Right. Because you've done a few covers. You did Stand By Me, which is a Pretenders song. And there's some live material on your YouTube. I think you've done Kashmir, Led Zeppelin, and Black Velvet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Where are
so
you at? Dale, where are you at in the UK?
I'm just Sheffield,
Okay.
the home of Def Leppard.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
that live Kashmir was filmed at KK Steel Mill there in
Oh, I
Wolverhampton.
love KK's. KK's is one of my favourite places. And there's a lovely pub as well, not far, called the Gifford Arms. I don't know if you've been to it, but it's a fantastic rock pub with a throne and coffin-shaped tables and things like it's amazing.
Oh.
Yeah,
What?
Well, now we have to go
What?
back.
you've got to go back. Yeah, KK Steel Mill is a fabulous venue. Really is a
Yeah,
great
we
venue. Yeah, it's
We enjoyed it. Yeah. We were there with
so
Ingve, you know.
yeah.
It was fun.
So what made you do a Beatles cover?
Well, this one was singing one day, and I, in the other room, and I happened to walk out, and she had just been belting the song out, and so she decided to go to work on it. It was just the way she sang it was just was very interesting. I mean, I mean, Paul McCartney's a genius. I never piss on what he's done. I just, and then I went and I started listening to all the other covers of that song, and it just felt to me that there was so much more emotion to be explored in that song.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Um,
the way she was singing it broadened that spectrum immensely. And we didn't like go full on Disturbed with it or anything, but it's got some meat to it, and it's really I don't know. I don't know why originally she started singing it, but I just know that when she started singing it and I heard it, I was like, oh yeah, we need to do that. So
I'm
Excellent.
just a longtime Beatles fan. I get them songs stuck in my head all the time, and I remember just I was singing it. Yeah, I was singing it in the bathroom or something. I can't remember, and I was being with the song and giving it some feel. And I remember coming out being like, I would love to do a cover of that. And he goes, make it. That was really good. And so I
Excellent.
did. Sent it to the band, and the band loved it, and it's on the album. So.
Oh, I
yeah.
can't wait to hear that. That sounds cool. I was actually at karaoke last night and listening to somebody totally murder a Beatles song. So it'd be nice to hear somebody do a good job.
Oh, I think you'll like this one. I think you'll like this one. Hit Shauna up for my email, and then hit me up. I'll send you an
We'll
advance
give you
copy
a
to
sneak
review.
preview. Yep, we'll give you a sneak preview.
Well, I do actually review new material on my page. So if you want to send me anything, I will review it before it's released and set it out there. Uh, but I've got to go on to something different now.
Okay.
Your videos buried an alien. Now,
Oh
before I
yeah.
get on to the long list of awards, I've got to say, Sammy, she likes being buried. In buried, she's buried in the mud, and in Alien, she's buried in cables. Does she volunteer for this, or do you just think to yourself, "There's a woman I want to get covered in stuff"?
Yes, that's it right there. Well, Brittany actually storyboards all these videos, so if
Oh,
that
it's
tells you
Brittany
anything.
then, right? I'm not having mud on me. We'll let Sammy do that one.
Pretty much, pretty much, that's what happened. Well, it was just actually by circumstance because I think in the first video, burying her in cables was the studio's idea. They had this idea like, oh, it'd be a really cool scene. And so we went and got a whole bunch of cables and we went to the dollar store and got a bunch of like 25-cent old VHS tapes. And then we like stripped them and
Yeah.
covered her in it, put little like Christmas lights and stuff in her so she looks like she's in the ruins of some Star Trek ship. And it was awesome. And then when I was storyboarding Buried, they had this idea too, but it was like, oh well, we have to do a buried scene. Well, we have to get her in. So it just might be the path now. Both of those were circumstance, but now we got to make it a theme. I think
Yeah.
it's just a theme at this point.
So none of them cables were plugged in, for health and safety reasons. So
No,
because
no,
I
it's
was
all been
reading
filmed.
about a band called Avatar, and it was performing, I think, in London. Yes, got it on Valentine's Day, and the whole stage was live. And some of their crew got hurt, and they walked off stage and refused to play. They said it was a health and safety nightmare. So it's
Um,
good to hear that you didn't have any of the cables plugged in.
no, no, they were just props. Oh my goodness. I read about that this morning. How
Yeah,
insane.
sorry for the pun, but it was shocking. Your video Buried, it's got to be said, has won a lot of awards for best music video, cinematography, editing. I've got a long list of awards it's won, which is absolutely incredible. And I understand you also got a Grammy consideration for Best Alternative Album with Beautiful Scars and Best Alternative Performance with Alien. So, have you got a big enough trophy cabinet in your RVs?
Well,
Oh man.
most of those are nods. Actually not trophies, but I'll say this. I don't think that's what we're aiming for, necessarily when we're writing these songs and creating these things. But it is nice to get the recognition because most of those things come from where somebody puts our art, you
Yeah.
Yeah,
know, and it's nice to know that it's not just run of the mill. It's not just throwing spaghetti on the wall. That we're being recognized for the intentional, uh, intentionality that we put into what we do, and it's humbling. It really is. It's humbling, and and I'm not gonna say it's not cool. I mean, it was
yeah,
very cool to hear, that we were going to be, at least on to the consideration vote for Grammys. I mean, that's just one of those big bucket list things you put out there as a musician is, well, it'd be cool to write a song and win a Grammy someday, and to actually
It's
taken
still on
that
our
step
bucket
on the
list.
ladder. What's that?
It's just still on our bucket list.
Still
it's
on
still
our
on your
bucket list,
bucket
but we've
list.
only gotten we got our foot on the stair, on the step into the building, but we didn't get into the building yet. So,
Yeah, exactly.
we're
Um, you also just come back from NAMM. Have you recovered from that time partying?
Oh
well,
yeah.
I think we've got Namthrax right now because both of us are coughing and but but no, it was a lot of fun. Actually, for me, it was my very first NAMM show ever, and I think Brittany's also. And it was kind of cool. We got to meet. We didn't get a lot of time out there, as much time as we probably would like to do if we, when we go back. But we did get to meet a lot of our sponsors and pick up a couple new ones and run
Yeah.
into some friends, stuff like that. It was a good time. I think that there's NAMM and then there's NAMM. Our bass player did NAMM. We did NAMM.
Yeah.
He was nowhere to be found because he worn himself out at 3 a.m. somewhere. But
Yeah.
but we were and Tony came down with us, so that was fun. We had RCF, which is a sound and speaker company, sponsored us through a friend of ours. Named Mark Butler, and so yeah, it was fun to go do that. Yeah, it was a great time. I highly recommend if you're a musician. It's definitely I want to go back because it's kind of like going to Disneyland and riding the train around the outside. And I want to go back and do Space Mountain and all the other stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I believe you met my editor from Metalliville online magazine, Glenn. You met him over there, and he was there for 2 weeks, and he was partying all night, sleeping all day, partying all night, and I think it's taken him a week to get back to some sort of normality.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
That's what
There's
happens.
that is definitely we witnessed that. I wouldn't say we partook in it because we were a little more on the subdued side this time. We also had our 5-year-old with us, so
Oh,
we were
right.
he experienced NAMM, so which was fun.
That's
Yeah.
kosher.
Yeah, so we stayed in that lane.
Yeah, that taking a 5-year-old sort of cramps your partying style.
Mm. No, it's a
Yeah,
different
but
type
I
of party.
so the whole last week I've been in a fitness boot camp, so I
Right.
was not coming back sick, and here I am sick.
Oh dear.
It's
I'm, I am glad that you're out of the hot tub now because I was worried about the phone dropping in.
no, I
Oh,
got
that would
it.
never happen. That would never happen.
Nah, none
Permanently
of those.
glued, a bit like my phone, permanently glued to my hand. My partner will definitely agree with that one. Yeah.
Nice.
So, when's your next release then? Because you've got to give it to me now. When are you planning your second single from your new material?
Well, it's going to be probably about 4 or 5 weeks out. Brittany had alluded to a kind of a rhythm. We're probably looking at more of an 8 to 10 week pattern for this. We have a meeting actually on Thursday with our radio people, our radio PR company that we work with that actually pushes us to radio over here. And so we kind of follow their lead. The reason this song went out when we still had other songs on Beautiful Scars that could have been pushed into the mix was just because he felt this was the strongest song to kick out 2026 with. So we had other ideas initially ourselves, but that's because we're artists. We're not the
Yeah.
business people. We defer to the business people, and that's why we surround ourselves with good ones. So I don't have an answer for you on that, but we will be going over that with him in the next, because there's 6 songs on this EP that'll be coming out later this year. And
Right.
so we're going to let him kind of call the ball and tell us which ones he thinks will promote the best and get the most attention by the programmers out there, and keep the momentum going that we have with terrestrial radio over here.
Have you got
This
a
is our
working
fourth one.
title for your EP?
Pardon me?
Have you got a working title for your EP?
Yes, so that's Villain. It's the working title right now. It's
Villain.
Villain.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I have got a suggestion. I like my suggestions. I come up with good ideas occasionally. Because you got your
Oh,
volume, yeah, because you got your volume one, and obviously you never made a volume two because you changed your band, and then Good Fight come along, and then you changed again, and then Beautiful Scars, and then you've got this new EP. I would have called it Volume Two, Metamorphosis.
Huh.
ooh,
Interesting.
ooh, interesting.
Like I said, I do have good ideas.
Yeah,
I
that's a good
like
idea.
it. Okay, I like it. Like we're the volume 2. Okay, and put some thought to that. I like it.
How about Metamorpheus? And then we use Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, Metamorpheus. Yeah,
No.
We can have the cover can be a guy with his arms folded behind his back and black sunglasses. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah. That's oh, it's oh, I can't remember his name. It's not Samuel Jackson. It's the other one who
No,
always gets confused for Samuel Jackson.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, well, what was his name now? Yeah, that's
Lawrence
going.
Fishburne. Lawrence
Lawrence
Fishburne.
Fishburne. Yeah, Lawrence Fishburne. Yeah, I'm
Yep.
glad you come up with that because that would have bugged the hell out of me.
No, I know. I'm the same guy. I get that delayed intelligence thing that, haunts me in
So
my sleep.
you did a European tour last year, which you supported Ingrid Malmsteen, I believe.
Yeah, that was actually at the end of 2023, or like the very
Oh,
end of
right, that
2020.
was a couple of years ago. So have you got any European tours lined up for this year?
Well, we don't at this point, but we're searching for right now. Our biggest challenge is because everything's kind of progressed so quickly. Um, we've made some really good decisions on the team that we have, um, but we are in desperate search of a couple of key players that we don't have yet. And one of them being a national, international booking agent at that's at a good level for what we do.
Yeah,
Um, Steve, being that Steve Unger joined the band, that has definitely put a little bit more of a spotlight on us. Just because of his work with Metal Church and Autograph and so forth. So I mean, there's players that know who we are now that but it's just also it comes down to the fact that we've got to find somebody that really leans into what we're doing and thinks that they can actually move us along in the direction we want to move along in. And one of the things that we are really excited about, and because we're a live stage band, if you listen to everything that's been written and Brittany spends a lot of time thinking about this too when we're finalizing or setting up our orchestrations and stuff, is that this is there's the theater element to it, that everything we visualize also how we're going to perform it, not just what's going to be performed. So we
yeah,
see a stage in mind and where this could fit and where the new song, oh, we could do this with this song and this would and so there's the stage moves and everything. So we really feel that that's kind of more our I think niche, if you will, is that yes, we want to write great songs and we want to, do all the things that you're supposed to do as an artist. But I think our passion is that we get out and play live.
yeah. See, I'd love to hear you play live, mostly because of Brittany's voice and obviously Sammy, because I think both of you have got a really good dynamic from what I've been watching. And I'd love you to hear you hit those high notes. I certainly can't hit any of them high notes unless I've some sort of low region accident, which we'll not get into. But um, I've got all the bravado for a front man, but sadly I've not got the voice or the looks. I always say I've got a face for radio and a voice for silent movies.
Oh, stop it.
You get along well with a producer friend of ours named Timothy Eaton.
Is it
He
is
has
he
a
is
lot
he
of
the same sort of sense of humor?
oh
Oh,
130%. Yes, he's you never know when he's telling you a story. It's not real. It's a punchline. There is a punchline coming. I don't care how traumatic he makes it sound. There's going to be somebody getting a stick in their bum or something. I mean, it's just he's got a punchline coming. Anyway, yes, he's very much got that very dry sense of humor. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, yeah. So, like I say, I'd love to see you live. I mean, the music that I listen to is absolutely fantastic, and then combine that with the voice, the lyrics, and I think if you manage to come back to KK's, which is I say it's my local, it's a 2 hour drive for me, but it's always worth a 2 hour drive because it's a fabulous venue. So if you ever manage to get back there. You can count on me giving you an email saying, "Hello, can I take your photograph?" And I'll be at the front in a loud shirt taking your photograph.
Oh, we'd love that. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
yeah. Hell yeah.
I-
We have
we
to
have
do that.
plans. We have
Sorry.
plans to come back. It's just, like I said, it's just all about the timing's right. I think there's I think what we're really focusing on too is trying to find out if we can get on the right run with the right band over there. That was probably the smartest thing we've done for several reasons. One, it told us, where our band was going and what the future was going to probably look like. It was a very good discovery trip
Yeah.
from that standpoint. And also, if you're going to go into a foreign land like that as your first time, it doesn't hurt to go on the back of a Titan.
Yeah.
And we were his direct support, and we played for sold out theaters all the way across, from Belfast to Rome. So it was, for us, it was a very humbling experience, but also I think a very great experience from the standpoint that we got to play in front of large groups of people. We got to get in front of the press over there a lot. And I think at a return visit, as somebody that's not quite completely an unknown is going to be good for us. So I think it was a smart move for us to take that run. And so we're looking for more runs like that. But there's also a lot of festivals. Like I was alluding to, we're definitely built for those kind of deals. We love the festivals. So
Yeah.
we're going to be looking into a lot of.
I'll tag in Kasumbi from Stone Dead Festival and see if we can get you at Stone Dead Festival next year because I think you'll be a great fit.
That'd be
That would be
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah. I can't promise anything. All I'm going to do is tag him in it, and I interviewed him last year, and he does occasionally look at what I do, so you never know. Fingers
Yeah.
crossed.
Well, that would.
Um,
Thank you very much.
So at the end of the interviews, I ask a question which is from my beautiful lady Tracy, who's not here at the minute. She's usually sat opposite me. Whenever I do an interview, she sits opposite me and she gesticulates wildly, and I've no idea what she's trying to tell me. So I've not got that distraction today. But she asks, her question is, tell us something about you that we don't know. So in this case, Mike, you've got to tell us something about Brittany, and Brittany's got to tell us something about Mike.
Oh,
Wow. Wow. Well, there's
that'd
plenty
be
we could
lovely.
tell, but probably wouldn't be. uh, let's see. Well, I will tell you that Brittany, I'm not going to say people don't know this, but it's probably not widely known, is Brittany is one of the premier palm readers on the West Coast in the United States.
Palm reader.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh, wow. There we go.
Like reading palms. Oh, look at that! Hey, there you
Yeah.
go.
So,
Pyramid
so,
yourself.
so,
I am very familiar with that poem.
yeah.
How
The,
cool!
this is my lady's, not mine. We've also got a mind one as well. We've also got that one as well.
Oh, wow.
But
Wow.
yeah, this is my lady. So you'll get on very well with my lady.
Wow. Yes, absolutely. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
You'll not be able to read
Okay.
my palms, though. My hands, I've got the ugliest hands. I've got a condition called Dupuytren's, and it's where it's pulling your fingers in, and I've just got really horrible hands. So you'll not be able to read mine very well,
That's okay. She
Oh,
can't
that's
read mine either.
actually,
can't she?
yeah.
She
Well,
can't
what's wrong
read
with
Yes,
mine
your?
either.
actually, he's making a
She can't read
joke.
mine
He's
either
saying
because
he
I
has
rubbed all the
all
lines off
the.
of them.
Yeah, that's the joke. That's the
Yeah.
joke.
So palm reader, that's excellent. So you've now got to tell us something about Mike.
Okay, something about Mike that you might not know.
I do not wear women's underwear all the time.
I do for Rocky Horror Show.
Oh, right. Oh, man. We got to hang out. You're our
Mike
people.
flown in a fighter jet.
Have
Yes.
you? Wow. You've got to
I
tell me
was
more now.
I was actually growing up as a young man, a young lad, coming through high school. My goal and my dream is to fly fighter jets. I grew up next to an Air Force base during the Vietnam War, so I got to watch the planes coming in and out all the time over there in Washington. And I just always had kind of a thing for planes. And in high school down in California, I was actually in a ROTC unit, and
Yeah.
I actually became the commander of that unit my first part of my senior year. And I had also gotten accepted to the Air Force Academy over here in the United States, which they only take 2 kids from each state every year. So it's a very hard thing to get involved with. But I ended up not doing it because I had very jacked up teeth. And they wanted me to get certain things handled before the government took over and started paying for my dumb ass. And my parents, I knew my parents really couldn't afford to do all that. So I had also done the smart thing like they teach you, is to apply for many colleges. And I ended up getting one of my dream colleges to give me a scholarship also, which was University of Southern California. So I ended up going there instead. But my dream was to fly. So in those years of ROTC programming and stuff going up to that, I got an opportunity to fly in a lot of different aircraft, from double prop Chinook helicopters to T-38 Talon fighter jets, and I got to do a backseat with one of the Thunderbirds.
An F-16.
Well, it was back then. It was a T-38.
Oh, the T-38 Talons. Obviously, before they had their big crash.
Yes, I was because this was in the 70s, so I'm dating myself, but yeah, so I got to experience that. I've been in, I've been on the boom of a KC-135 tanker. I've been in a B-52 bomber. I didn't get to fly in any of the new stealth technology or anything, but I got a lot of experience, doing that and going through and seeing those. I snuck up on a SR-71 back in the day where you could get shot for seeing one, and almost did. So yeah, that's a little interesting part of my history that's very brief in time, but it did happen. Hey, look at you.
Yeah, this was flown in a KC-135 from RAF Mildenhall, refueling B-52 bombers as they flew around the Russian border on a special mission. So I'm a big aeroplane geek, and this is one of my photographs of, I don't know if you can see that. There you go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
F-16,
look
yeah.
at that.
Yeah, that's a Polish F-16, that one at RAF Fairford Air Show. So I'm a massive aviation geek. I'm very jealous you've sat in a B-52. Even more jealous you've flown in a T-38 Talon. I've seen Portuguese Talons, but I've never seen United States Air Force ones. So you definitely got a few up on me on that one.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, today, if I was put in one of those things, I would probably throw up all over myself before we got more than 10 feet in the air, because the G's that son of a gun pulled was amazing. But my little 17-year-old body or 18-year-old body was built to withstand a lot more than this body is nowadays.
I was also lucky enough to see the B-52, the SR-71 on its last display in the UK back in 1989. And that was at RAF Fairford as well. So that was a magnificent aeroplane.
Oh, there's a lot of history there. A lot of stuff got done that most people don't know or ever will know about, and probably some of that's good.
So when you come over to the UK, Brittany will be talking to my partner Tracy about palm reading, and me and you will be just looking at aeroplane pictures and talking aircraft.
There you go.
That's right, man. I want to go see a Spitfire over there. Hey, also, you can drag our happy asses down to Stonehenge, because we wanted to go do that last time we were there, and half our band was like wimping out about it, so we never got to do it. So,
well, Stonehenge.
Yes.
Yeah,
do it.
I used to live next door to it at a RAF base. Well, it's not an RAF base. It's Boscombe Down. It's where they did all the testing. But I was on an army base. My dad were in the army, so we lived on the edge of Salisbury Plain, which is where Stonehenge is. So yeah.
Ooh, Air Force guy, bases. You need to take us to Rendlesham Forest.
Ooh.
Take you where?
Where the UFO crash landed.
Oh, right. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yes, yeah.
Yes, we're big. Alien. We wrote a song about stuff like that, so we're big alien people.
For alien people. Yeah. Woo.
You're American, of course you are.
They're here.
Uh,
Excellent. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I desperately want you to come over so I can meet you because I think we'll just have a really good laugh. And good luck with your new material. And I absolutely love the artwork and the videos of your artwork of your albums, your last two albums, Good Fight and Beautiful Scars. I think the cover work is absolutely fantastic. And of course, your videos, your multi-award winning video, Buried, uh, and Alien, very, very good videos. And your music, it's really good. The early stuff, I've got to say, wasn't my sort of thing. As I described it, lounge music for your volume one. But you're now getting heavier, and it's the sort of music I listen to, the sort of music I grew up with, and I love the message that you're conveying, and the uplifting message, and the journey you're taking us on. And long may it continue with your new material.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Dale. We appreciate
Yeah,
it.
and thank you very much for your time.
All right.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
so
having
much.
us.
That was great.